Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In this video we will study about the correlation. Correlation means relationship between two. So before this we have done linear regression or regression method, linear regression or regression analysis represent the relationship in terms of models between the independent and dependent variables. Regression analysis does not calculate or measure the degree of relationship, strength, power of the relationship. So with the help of correlation we can measure the degree of relationship or strength of the relationship between the variables. If a change in one variable affects a change in the other variable. If a change in one variable affects a change in the other variable, the variables are said to be correlated. The term correlation denotes the degree of relationship between two or more variables. So correlation analysis measures the degree or strength of relationship between the dependent and independent variables. Correlation is classified into positive and negative. Correlation depends upon the direction of change of the variables. If y tends to increase as x increases, the correlation is called positive or direct correlation. If y tends to decrease as x increase in the opposite direction, the correlation is called negative or inverse correlation. Same as the regression analysis, if one variable increase, other increase, positive relationship. If one increase, other decrease, the relationship is called negative. So regression analysis represent the relationship between the variable, does not measure the degree of relationship. This is the most important thing. So how we calculate the correlation? The coefficient of correlation, this is the formula of the coefficient of correlation. To measure the degree of relationship between two variables, an abstract coefficient that is free from the particular units is used. It is denoted by small r, given by this formula: r is equal to n summation xy minus summation x summation y divided by under root in separate bracket n summation x square minus summation x whole square in second bracket n into summation y square minus summation y whole square. The numerator term is the same as the formula of the b. Okay, you have used the formula of the b in regression analysis, n summation xy minus summation x summation y the same as the formula of b. The numerator term is same, and in denominator term you have two brackets. This first bracket is the same as the denominator of the formula of the a and b. In second bracket, write dependent variable same as this format, and instead of summation x square summation y square minus sign, instead of summation x whole square write summation y whole square. This indicates the information about the y, sum of the y square, sum of the square of the y. Same as in this bracket, substitute the value of sum of the squares and square of the sum. Okay, both are different things. And take square root. This is the product of both terms, and then take square root. This term divided by this value will obtain the value of r, and coefficient of correlation or value of r lies between -1 and 1, that is between -1 and +1. And we decide the strength or degree of the relationship with the help of this value. So how we interpret the value of the coefficient of correlation? If r is equal to exactly +1, then there is perfect positive correlation between the variables. A value of r between +0.1 to 0.5 indicate low positive correlation between the variables. R between 0.6 to 0.9, high positive correlation between the variables. Same as this, if value is negative -1, perfect negative correlation. Between -0.1 -0.5, same as this, low negative correlation between the variables, minus 0.6 to minus 0.9, same as this, high negative correlation between the variables. If r is equal to 0, then there is no relationship between the variables, or you can say the variables are uncorrelated. That is, the variables are uncorrelated, no effect, no dependency. So now we will solve the coefficient of correlation using the same example. You have solved this example in a regression equation, linear regression equation. So variables are given here, number of students are 1 to 12. The following data represent the intelligence test score and statistics marks of a group of 12 students. IQ test scores are given, statistics marks given, and statistics mark depend on IQ test. This is the x and this is the y. So according to the formula, we will calculate first x square of all the values of x, y square of all the values of y. We will obtain the y square and the product of the xy individually, and then add all these values. You will obtain the required term summation x, summation y, summation x square, summation y square, summation x into y. So calculate the coefficient of correlation R and write the conclusion or comments on the relationship between the IQ test and statistics marks. So first we calculate the required term and then substitute in formula. Number of observations are 12, n is 12. Substitute the value of x, sum of x, sum of y, sum of x square, sum of y square, sum of xy. In this formula, n is the 12, summation xy, summation x, summation y divided by under root, n is 12 separate, summation x square, this value, summation x whole square, same as here, n 12, summation y square, this, summation y whole square. Okay, this value, summation of y square, summation x square, summation xy. And then simplify the numerator term, and this bracket first simplify, separate, and then multiply both term, then take square root and divide this term by the denominator term. You will obtain the value of r 0.86. According to the results, there is high positive correlation because 0.89. If the value of r is positive 0.89, comments will be positive correlation between IQ test score and statistics marks. Okay, the formula is lengthy but question is very simple. The question for homework: in a study between the amount of the rainfall and the quantity of air pollution removed, the following data were coded or collected. You have solved this question in the homework of the regression analysis, regression line. So daily rainfall is x, particulate remove y, compute the coefficient of correlation r, and write the conclusion. Okay, Allah Hafiz.